They say grief is like a shadow. It follows you, quiet, heavy, and constant. Even when people around you laugh again, your heart still sits in darkness. That's how it was for me. After Eze died, I became a ghost in my own home. I didn't eat much. I stopped going to the stream with other women. I would sit by the door for hours, staring at the path that led to the village kids. The same path he had taken the day he left for that roofing job. The same path he never returned from. Sometimes I would hear footsteps, soft, familiar. Sometimes I would smell his scent, wood smoke and palm oil, even when the fire hadn't been lit. I told myself it was nothing, until it wasn't. It was a cold Hamatan night. I had just finished sweeping the kitchen floor. My back was aching, my hands dry from the dust. I sat on the doorstep watching the moon, and then I heard it. Nnenna, you walked too slow. I froze. That voice, I turned, and I saw him. Eze. He looked just like I remembered, strong, calm, wearing that white shirt I used to wash for him every Sunday. My legs gave way and I fell to the ground. He ran to me, held me. I told you I'll never leave you, he said. I cried until my eyes hurt. That night he stayed. We talked. We laughed. He even told me he had found a way to cross back because I was calling him in my heart. That love like ours doesn't die. It burns time and space. He told me he wasn't fully alive, but he wasn't dead either. Just promise not to tell anyone, he said. If they know, it will take me away. I nodded. I would have promised anything just to have him stay. He came every night. He would sit and eat with me, though he never finished his food. He would sing old songs, though his voice sometimes sounded far away, like wind through trees. And when I asked him why he never came during the day, he would say softly, "Because the sun is not for me anymore." One night, I touched his hand. It was cold, not like ice, but like a stream under a shade. Still, unnatural. But I didn't let go. I made a mistake. I was too happy, too full of life again. The village noticed. They asked questions. One morning, my cousin Ada came by unannounced. She saw two bowls on the table, a pair of slippers by the door, not mine. She waited until night. She hid behind a mango tree outside my kitchen window. That night, Eze came, and Ada saw him. She ran screaming through the village. The dead has returned. By morning, the chief priest and the elders were gathered outside my home. I begged them to leave him alone. I told them he meant no harm, that it was love. But they didn't listen. They sprinkled salt and ashes around the compound, chanted words older than memory. As I didn't come that night, or the night after, I stopped eating. My eyes sank. My voice became thin. They said they were helping me, saving me, but they didn't see the way Eze held me that last night. The way he whispered, "Come with me. I can take you where the pain stops, where love continues. You just have to say yes." I didn't answer. Now, I wish I had. 3 months passed. One night, I fell into a deep sleep. I saw a wide river with silver water. Eze stood on the other side. He looked peaceful. "Come." "I'm still waiting," he said. I woke up with tears in my eyes. That morning, I packed a small bag. I walked to the shrine on the hill, the one nobody goes to unless they seek answers beyond the living. The priestess was waiting. "I've been expecting you," she said. She told me that Eze's love had pulled him back through a thin crack between life and death. But love like that must either break the rules of the gods or find a way to fulfill them. "There's one chance," she said. "You must go to the spirit tree at the edge of the world and ask the keeper to bless your bone. How? I asked. You must carry his spirits alone for 3 days, and if your loss survives the silence of death, you will get your answer. I walked for 3 days, no food, no water, just Ezra's shades in my hand. At the spirit tree, I lay down and closed my eyes, and then I felt it. His hand. He was back, not as a ghost, not as a shadow, but as light, warm, alive, in a way I can't explain. We spoke without words, we danced without moving. I saw every moment we ever shared like stars floating in my mind. And then the keeper spoke. Your love is rare. It echoes beyond the wall of the living. But the dead must rest, and the living must continue. If he stays, his soul will fade into nothing. If you let go, his light will remain in you forever. I looked at Eze. He was silent now, a soft smile on his lips. I reached for his hand, and this time it passed through. He was fading. He didn't speak, but I heard his voice in my chest, steady and kind. The way it had always been. You walk too slow, Nnenna. But now, it's time to move forward. I will meet you again, in dreams, in wind, in every kind of love you find. And then he was gone. No sound, no flash, just peace. I don't remember the journey back, only the way the wind felt warm, as if someone walked beside me. I held his shirt close to my chest the whole way. When I returned to Umuka, the villagers watched in silence. I was thinner, quieter, but something in my eyes had changed. They called it healing. I called it remembering. It was merely a year later when the traveler came. He wasn't loud like Eze. He didn't fill a room, but he was kind, patient. He sold handmade calabashes and told stories that made the children laugh. He asked for my name. I told him. Nnenna, he said. It suits you. For weeks, he walked me to the stream, never rushed me, never pushed. He didn't try to fix my silence. He just stayed beside me. One evening, as we sat under the guava tree, he reached for my hand. It was warm, real, alive. I didn't pull away. We married quietly. No dancing, no drums, just the two of us by the river. And the priestess, who had once guided me to the spirit tree, she looked at me and said, You chose life, and love followed. And now, I still dream of Eze sometimes. Sometimes, I hear his laugh in the wind. But I no longer sit by the door, waiting. I sit in the sunlight now, with my husband, my child, and a heart that remembers but no longer mourns. Because love doesn't always end. Sometimes it changes form, and sometimes it walks beside you in a different face. But it always stays, even when you walk slow.